Hello, Cancer, my exalted ones. Welcome to your reading, my exalted ones. We are going to get into the Good Tarot today and the Starseed Oracle deck, as well as the Chinese Fortune Cookie Oracle deck. We're going to ask who you really are, how others actually perceive you, what people get wrong about you, and how this affects you in relationships. Okay, my exalted ones. You are the Six of Air. You're going somewhere. You're going where God wants to take you. You are in the flow with that. You are listening to the cues around you, the signs and the synchronicities, and you are on your way. You might have a higher or better perspective, kind of like over the clouds, right? You're over the clouds. I'm hearing that you're over the most difficult part of some situation here that you've had in your life. That's who you are. How others perceive you. Well, that's interesting. They perceive you as a Seven of Earth, almost kind of like you're trying to figure out what's the right thing to do. Maybe I need to replan some things here. No, not by the way of like who you are. You know where you're going. Well, you may not know what the destination is, but you're certain, like, I feel like whatever steps you're taking, that has you in the right direction. I've said that a few times for you now in the last, I don't know, in the last little while. It really feels like it, like you've hit the flow. You're really connected to your God and your guides and angels and all of them sort of like trying to help you along the way and steer you down the right path. People see you almost like in a new planning stage here, like there's something that you're planning. Maybe there is. And it could be something completely outside of whatever the Six of Swords is. But what do people get wrong about you? The King of Fire. The King of Fire. What it is within your heart, your desires, your feelings. Now, there could even be a masculine energy here, and people, maybe the relationship you have with this person, they're incorrect about that. We'll see how that, well, yeah, we'll see what more I get out of that as we go. How this affects you in relationships. The Page of Fire. Well, that's very interesting. What others get wrong about you? The King of Fire, and it makes you like the Page. You have a stronger will and desire here than people believe you to have. That's very interesting. There could be something too about you where you might look younger than you actually are as well. I'm getting a weird thing here. I'm getting like, okay, for some reason there might be some people that don't listen to, or they wouldn't take your advice or ideas if they knew they were coming from you. So it's kind of like, I don't know, I'm getting this impression like there's things that you say that there might be things where you're telling somebody some sort of advice or some type of idea that you have, and there might be people that you talk with where, you know, they may not take that advice from you, or unless you say, you know, my dad used to tell me this, or my husband told me this. I don't know what it is, but it's kind of funny. Like, King of Fire, it makes you Page of Wands. In some way here, people underestimate you. It's like people underestimate you. Temptation is at the bottom. Temptation is at the bottom. That's the, that's like the Devil card. She's not acting on anything. You're on your way. You could even be traveling, or maybe you're thinking of traveling somewhere. You're definitely getting above the clouds. That's who you are. You're getting above the clouds. You have a very different perspective. It's a higher perspective. When I say it's a higher perspective, there is a sense of enlightenment that has come to you. People perceive you, though, as almost like you're looking for areas to find enlightenment. That's also interesting. You're the King of Fire wrong about you. How strong your sense of will is? Maybe with the Six of Swords, like you're often, you know, leaving life to some extent up to whatever God has for you that day. And people may not realize like how much self-will and self-direction you actually have. You are the courageous peony. Multifaceted, a unique nature. You let yourself be seen. Wow, you're very open. If people look hard enough, they'll see you properly. There's some sort of courage here that you've gained. You've turned some level of strength into courage. And when I say courage, it's like right, courage is something that we don't really have unless we're faced with something, you know, that scares us. You can't have courage without fear. So there's some sort of fear that I feel like that you've overcome here. Maybe to be seen for who you truly are. I also feel like you have a plan of some sort. You have a plan to be seen for who you truly are. And I don't know, others are just like, they see you as, yeah, I'm trying to figure things out. What's the thing I can do? It's happening. Keep holding the vision. I feel like you're somehow a step or two ahead of what people think about you, or where they think you are, or what kind of planning stage. I feel like you're beyond some type of planning stage here. You're beyond some type of planning stage. It's like you're almost somewhere already. Yeah. They get wrong about you as the King of Fire. I remember soul plan, the fated life, birth, the destiny life. See? It's exactly what I said. With the Six of Air, and this is like, you know when to give things to the universe, and the universe is going to look after it, and you may not have control over your fate. But see, the thing is, you carve your destiny. You have the courage to claim your destiny. No, it's kind of coming off here that people don't think that you're as courageous as you are, but you're actually, there's a lot of courage here. I think some of the best examples of courage are when people face fears on their own, honestly. And when you face certain fears on your own here, people don't witness the courage. Try not to sneeze. I feel like it's coming. And it's not. You have a very good guidance system in your heart center here. You have a lot of power to be able to carve the destiny that you would like for yourself in the times where you are fated to be somewhere or experience something. You also can display courage in a lot of unique ways that people may not have ever imagined as areas of life where you would have to be courageous. I'm kind of getting the impression here that there's in some way you've hidden yourself, but you don't anymore. You're not. Or you're not afraid to. It's really funny, though, because it's kind of like people perceive you as trying to figure out how to get to wherever you're going. I don't know, maybe you are, but I feel like there's less trying to figure that out as opposed to just having courage to see where it goes. And how this affects you in relationships, the Page. You might also be the one that ends up having to talk about things with people. Oh my God, Messenger. That's funny. The Page is sort of like the one who communicates for me. Well, not just me. I'm sure many tarot readers. The Page of, well, the Page of Fire, the Page of Wands. A messenger, bringing harmony and balance. You are the one that has to really, I don't know, you could even be the one that has to pick up the phone or send a text or talk to someone. It's like you're the one that has to communicate things. I feel like people spend a lot of time guessing about you when they should honestly maybe just come out and ask. You're the one that has to be courageous. Oh my gosh. Okay. It's like you're the one that has to be the most courageous in a lot of relationships that you have, whether that's, you know, and maybe even if you're an adult child and with parents, it's like you're the one that has to be courageous. Or in a lot of, I'm almost getting like to like in even friendship connections where, you know, maybe there's times where friends come and help you and they do things like that and they're like, oh yeah, we need to help Cancer. But at the end of the day, I want to say, because in some way here, there's a unique nature about you where you become courageous in areas where most people wouldn't even go. So there's a weird kind of impression here that people feel like they're the ones being strong for you, where you're actually the one who's the strongest. It's funny. It's really kind of funny. And I feel like there's things that, there's gaps that you bridge, usually in relationships. You probably also know the right thing to say to someone at different times in relationships. And this brings like a harmony and a balance into someone's life, or maybe even it brings harmony, balance into the relationships that you have with that person. You have a double mission, light worker, starseed, serve the world by being you. Oh yeah, see, because when you're you, you're opening up portals of love. You're opening up portals of love. All right. So far, this is like a pretty easy one. It's, hey, let's not complain. We don't want. You got Jupiter right now. Things are wide open. You're going into the Chinese fortune cookie deck. Who you really are. Oh, look it. Difficult times. Be on your guard against chaos as unforeseen perils or emotional upheaval are foretold. Wow. I really do feel like you just like, you know, I don't know what God has planned for me tomorrow, but I'm being as courageous as I possibly can. You're somebody who is maybe trying to be very careful about any chaos or emotional upheavals. You are, I want to say too, on your guard about chaos. You bring balance and harmony. You bring balance and harmony. And it feels like you want to try to keep that. Like you're watching, you're watchful. This doesn't necessarily feel like you're watching over your own life for difficult times. I mean, yeah. But it almost feels like you've somehow brought somebody in your life some type of balance and harmony through the words that you've said. And you're now kind of watching, okay, I'll know if this person starts talking in this way or if they're doing this, that they're starting to go down. They're starting to go downhill in some way, or they're starting to take their life towards something sort of chaotic and unforeseen. See, I am really getting that you are kind of the one here who has to be the strong person. It's funny. I don't usually have this come in, but I'm getting a little scene here. There's a friend that I have, and her parents, one is a Leo and one is a Cancer. And the Cancer parent is often one who, you know, very open and welcoming. Well, not to say that the Cancer one is, they both are. Both parents are very open and welcoming. But there's something sort of kind of big and grand about their Leo parent. It's funny, the Leo parent gets tired quickly. And they'll often like check out early in the evening if you're visiting or whatever. But the other thing too is the Cancer parent is the one that I feel like really supports like everything. And they support, you know, their partner as well, which is, if you didn't really study the nuance and you very easily looked over someone who's more like in the shadows and doing, you might not realize that how significant and how much that person adds to the dynamic. Like I'm kind of getting a bit of that here. You might even be okay, here's the other thing. You might even be doing and going in a direction right now that is to avoid like unforeseen perils. I also feel like if there's things that you're kind of struggling with a bit emotionally here, like, you know, your own big questions in life and where things are going, you let yourself be seen. So you don't, that's interesting, because Cancer there can be a lot of feelings that you don't show. But in some way here, you're letting yourself be seen. Maybe being a little bit vulnerable, or you're going in that direction to be more courageous to do that. How people perceive you. Keep holding the vision. Oh, how am I going to redo this? How am I going to rebuild this? Signs. Your future positive direction will reveal itself. Any doubts and confusions will soon disappear. See, I don't know. I don't feel like you're having doubt about where you're going. You might have questions, but I don't feel like you have doubt. And if you like, right, this card is like somebody looking, what's the right way, fairy? Where do I go now? I made it this far. What direction do I go in now? So I want to say the one thing that I think is accurate in how people perceive you is that you have like a faith, knowing that you are heading in the right direction. You're making the right choices for yourself. You have lost some doubts in that, but it's weird that the Seven of Pentacles is here, because that's somebody who needs to replan, unless maybe there's something that you've made an adjustment in, because it doesn't look like you're in an adjustment energy right now. So maybe there was something you made an adjustment in, and now you're kind of like, people see you as kind of seeing like, oh, is this the right direction? Let's see where this goes. What they get wrong about you? The King of Fire in the Soul Plan. Love. Love is in the air. A great time for commitment and taking relationships to the next level. I feel like, what to say? Because he's got his heart here too, right? How to say? It's almost like Cancer's a little bit open for business. That's what they get wrong about you. They get wrong about you. Love is in the air. You're open for business. Your heart. Some people might think that that they're for you, like they're, when they're not, because it's almost like you understand what your fate and your destiny are all about. How this affects you in relationships. Page of Fire and the Messenger. So society perseverance. Say yes to all the wonderful invitations coming your way. Excellent networking opportunities and new love interests for singles will be the result. Perseverance. You may feel like you are getting nowhere, but there are wonderful changes ahead. Don't give up. Wow, it just feels like you're not meeting the right people. It feels like you're not meeting the right people here. It feels like you may have a lot of opportunities here to connect with different people, but you're not really getting, or there's also something here that maybe you're trying to communicate to somebody. It doesn't feel like you're getting the message to them. There could be like a lot of love that you have here for someone and they just don't get it. I don't know. I think that could be part of it too. You could have a lot of love or emotion for someone. They don't get it. I don't know. They don't seem to get it. Change. Change is at the bottom. A change of residence, partner, career, or job is on the cards. You're restless in need of a change, and that is exactly what is coming your way. So you had change. You had change come. Change came in. Change came in for you. Maybe you were feeling kind of restless. Maybe you've sort of made some of this change, but it came your way. Change has come your way, and you're courageous in these times of change. You have a lot of love to give. I feel like even in terms of relationships, you are very open to connecting with someone, but it feels like you're not connecting with the right type of people. It could even feel like that there's people that you talk to that you share your emotions with, and you don't connect with them. They don't respond in the way that you would hope they would. But you're not giving up. That's what I see here. You're not giving up. And that is what I have for you, Cancer. I'm going to go do the extended Cancer. I think I'm going to do actually what I did for, that was Leo, right? I'm sorry. No, Gemini. Leo's next. That was Gemini. I'm going to ask who's watching or observing you. Why? What are their intentions towards you? The link, there's 2 options for the extended in the description below. Thank you so much, Cancer. Until next time, my exalted ones, be gentle with yourselves. Bye.